Hello everyone and welcome to the past 6 months of me completing challenges on thelfuse.com. So you might remember in December, I uploaded the video in January, but in December I did the 12 days of Christmas challenge, which was on the first day you have to earn 1 Thelfie in a DLC, on the 5th day you have to earn it with a shop tag, on the 8th day you have to earn 8 Thelfies from games in a series with 8 or more titles. So basically every day you had to earn 1 more Thelfie than the day before, and there was a criteria you had to hit. So I managed to do that. Very messy, but I did manage to complete it. And so that went up until the end of December, and I put my video up in January. I'll link it below if you haven't seen it. But for the past 6 months, they've been doing other challenges, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and that's why I've put them all in one video, just because, you know, some of them I'm just going to skip by. So to start off with, we had Alphabet Bingo, which I didn't like. What Alphabet Bingo is, you get given a grid of 25 letters, and you have to get a Thelfie that starts with that letter. But the kind of gimmick to this is that it gets harder every Thelfie you get. So if you don't know what a ratio is, it is essentially a fancy way of talking about percentages. So if 100% of people have a Thelfie, it's got a ratio of 1, then like 99% it goes to 1.01, and you know, they've got some like funny maths to explain it. So actually, yeah, I'll go to Platin to kind of hopefully help you understand this, because it is relevant for the next one as well. So the first Thelfie you would get in Platin is to reach Ante 4. So that's got a ratio of 1, because it's basically saying that like everyone who has the game on their list has this one. And you can see 85% of people have this one, so it's got a ratio of 1.07. And then if you go up to finish a run, 1.23. To finish a run on the second difficulty of 1.64, so as you can see it just goes up, and the platinum has a ratio of 9.55. So essentially what this means for the Alphabet Bingo is the very first Thelfie you can get any ratio, you know, you can get a 1, and then you need to get a 1 point, I think it's 1.05, 1.1, 1.15, 1.2. So essentially for every Thelfie it has to be slightly harder than the last one. And what this means is for P, I don't know if this will still work. Yeah, so this is showing me every Thelfie that in my unearned list that starts with a P and it's above 1.9. And there's some letters, like, I don't know if Q seems hard. Yeah, you can see this is my full list of games that I could get for Q. And V is also hard. You've got a bit more, but, you know. And my issue with this one actually didn't mind. You know, like, I don't like the challenges that are like, you will fail if you mess this up, because there's a few like that, and there's a few in this video. But with this one, I basically just didn't even do the challenge. You can see, I think it starts from the bottom. So I played like the Astrobot DLC, then I played Kunutsugami Path to the Goddess, and I was getting other Thelfies, but these were the only ones that matched with those letters. Then I played Indica, then I played Pacific Dive, then I played Sonic Generations. Like, and I never actually thought about this. I never went for these just because I could, like, you know, I'm playing games. I don't want to go like, okay, so now I need to play Dead Nation and collect all loot in any mission. It's just like, you know, I want to just play what I'm playing. So Alphabet Bingo, you know, didn't like this one, but also I didn't mind it, and I did manage to get 2 bingos, as you can see, bottom line and what else? B2. Is that a bingo? Oh yeah, okay, the corner. Yeah, okay. So I got the bottom line and I got corner line. Okay. So not a fan of this one, but I was a big fan of Boss Rush 2. I don't know when they did the other one, but basically what this was, you start off and you're against Boss 1, who was Nebulax from Astrobot. So the way this works, again, it's so like kind of, it seems complicated, but actually just, it's easy. So he has 250 health, okay? And when you get a Thelfie, you do damage to him. And the way that these attack values are worked out is the difference in points on the website versus PlayStation themselves. So a lot of people don't know this, and it's so like irrelevant basically, but bronze Thelfies give you 15 points, silver give you 30, gold give you 90, and platinums give you 300. So the way that this works, if I go back to Blat though, you can see that this trophy, which has a ratio of 1, gives you 15 points on the website. This one gives you 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 20, 24, 50. So what these numbers are is the base, you can see this is a bronze, so this is 15 points. It's the base point value multiplied by the ratio. So this is 15 times 1, which is 15. This is 15 times 1.07, which is 16. Then if you go up, if I find, can I get like a 2? I want a bronze 2. I don't know, I'm sure like this one. So this is a bronze, it's got a ratio of 2.36. So 15 times 2.36 is 35. So these are the points you're getting. You can see silvers work the same way. So this is a silver, which is worth 30, ratio of 2, 60. And a bronze, or a gold, a 90 times 2.65 is 238. So this is that's how the point system works. The attack value is the value on the website minus the original value. So basically just is the ratio, if that makes sense. So let's say this bronze, on the PlayStation this is a 15, on the website it's a 36, so this is going to give you 26 points. No, it's not. It's going to give you 21 points. So that would be 21 damage. Okay. So the way to think about this is, you get more points the harder a trophy is, and also you get like bonus points if it is like unfairly categorized by the system. So what I mean is, like, bronze are meant to be easy, silver are meant to be slightly harder, gold is meant to be the hardest. If you get a gold trophy that's easy, it will not do any points because everyone will have it. So it'll be a 90, I think. You know, like, I think that's how it works. Or like, you know, it'll be like, so it's a gold, which is a 90 in the system, and a lot of people have it, so the ratio is low. So it'll be like 90 times 1.01, which would be 90, I think. So the difference would be 0, so it wouldn't do any damage. So the way, you know, like, if you don't get it, it seems complicated, but what it actually just means is, get trophies, get as many as you can. If they have a high ratio, which means a lot of people don't have them, they do more damage. And if they're bronze, they do more damage, basically. Like, if they're bronze and hard. So I think actually a great example would be Wolfenstein 2, because Mein Leben would give you 100 points. Oh, honestly, the actual system doesn't matter. So I just, like, we'll just ignore this, because basically, so this is like 15 times 6.69. So then it's 100 minus 15. So this would give you 85 points. So it actually wouldn't give you as much as I thought. But it basically just comes down to higher ratio trophies give you more. Because I think what happened when they did the first one, they just did it by the base points, which meant golds and platinums did a lot of damage, which meant if you get like a, you know, if I just go on, is this actually going to show me? Show shovelware. So for example, if you were to play, actually, isn't it weird? I thought all the shovelware games had only gold, but I guess people care about like the number of trophies. Yeah, so if you play, I want to get a good one. I don't know, sure. If you were to play Pixel Head Soccer, you get 90 points for each of these, and then 250 points for that one. You also get like, what, 60 for that? So a way to like win, a way to beat every boss would just be to play shovelware games. So I think they basically added this in so that they have to both be, it's basically, it's just the ratio. So what this does mean is platinums are worth a lot, because obviously people don't have them as much, and harder games are worth a lot. So, you know, it's a good change. I didn't do the last one, but what makes this interesting is each boss has a gimmick. So you can see you get double for each individual attack. It doubles if the game was published by Sony, and you can click here, it gives you a list. This is actually a list of my games that I could use. So each of these would have counted. You can actually see here, this number is how many points it would do. And you can see that it doesn't always, it's not like linear, you know, like, is this sorted by, yeah, this is sorted by ratio, but basically because this is a gold, it would give you 5 points, because the multiplication is so much higher with a higher number, basically. Here's like this one, 98 times 1.08, it's a difference of 8, compared to this one, which is, well, actually compared to this one, which is meant to be easier, No, yeah. Compared to this one, which is meant to be harder, it would give you less points because it is a silver, so the multiplication is less. Honestly, my point is it doesn't matter. In this one, you can't fail. Like, if you sign up for the contest and then you decide, okay, I'm just gonna play whatever I want to play. For each trophy, you'll get points. You might accidentally get like a weakness points because you're playing a game that you shouldn't be playing, but it still counts. Unless there are some, if for example it was going to do 1 damage and it times by 0.5 or something. I think there's one, it minuses it by 0.75, so if you're going to do 1 damage, it would go down to 0.25 damage, and then it would down, it would do no damage. But my point is, you could just like play things. So I'm going to tell you how I beat every boss, and I do have, hopefully I have footage to show up on screen, because I recorded this, but they're all in like different folders, so if I can find anything, I'll put it on screen to show you. So for Nebulax, you get double damage if the game's published by Sony, but you get half damage if it's a first-person shooter, third-person shooter, or basically if you shoot. I don't know why. Like what? I guess it's like meant to be anti-platformer. But so this one actually got very easily because I was playing the Power Wash Simulator DLC, and the ratios for DLC are always messed up, just because I think it does it based off the people that own the main game. So you can see like all of these. Like all of these have a ratio of 2. I don't know how exactly it works, but basically DLCs are like cheat codes for this. But I didn't do this on purpose. This is just what, like, my point is, this is what I was playing. I was playing the Power Simulator, Wallace and Gromit DLC, and each of these counted. So we defeated Nebulax very easily. Then we have the second sister from Fallen Order, and you get plus 40 attack to your each individual trophy if the value includes a 4. So, you know, if I just click this, you can see that you know, actually I think this doesn't even, I don't think it's doing the maths for this. I think you just have to, oh no, actually it's weird. It seems like there's a lot of them that have 4s, but then it's like this one has this one's 16. I wonder if maybe it hasn't updated. You know, this one used to be 14 and it just changed. No clue. Yeah, so this is just like, you know, you have to find one that has a 4 and it does more damage, but if it has a 2 then it does less damage. You know, I thought the gimmicks were like fun because they all like match the character, but I'm looking at this, I'm like, what's the like relevance of the 4 and the 2? Obviously that's the second sister, but I'm thinking, is it meant to be because like episode 4 is a good film and Attack of the Clones is a bad film? Is that what we're doing? But either way, I just, you know, they only have 500 damage, so I was just playing more Power Wash Simulator. You know, I was playing in the same session as the last one, and we defeated this boss again very easy. Just more Wallace and Gromit DLC. Then we had Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. So if you have left, right, up or down in the trophy or game name, which I actually do, yeah, so just by chance I was still playing more Power Wash Simulator and I got we have touchdown, so it did 3 times damage and I actually soloed the boss, you know, 894 damage and it only had 750 health, and I would have got minus points, it would have times it by 0.3 if I was playing an RPG or it had M and K. Is that it? M and K in the trophy or game name? So I think it's basically just saying don't play Mortal Kombat. M and K. Or RPG. So this should show me a bunch of RPGs, and I'm guessing this Doki Doki one. It's got a K. It's got an M. Okay. But again, just playing Power Wash Simulator, so we're still just getting through. Also, I think it is worth noting, if you've not noticed, we started with 250 health, and then we're at 750, and then now we have a Rathalos for the Monster Hunter. He's got 1000 health. So I believe it goes, I can't remember if it goes up the way or down the way. I need to check that. Oh yeah, it goes up there. So we're starting down here. So Rathalos is weak to hack and slash games, and he is strong against trophies that have an F or Monster Hunter, or monster in the name. Not sure what the F significance is. Is that like a, you know, like, is it about Monster Hunter Frontier? What about, when's the first time he showed up? Is he in like the first one, or game appearances? He was in the first game. What if I just do Rathalos F? Yeah, so I mean, I don't actually get what the gimmick is meant to be here, but Monster Hunter F. No clue. So for this one, we had just started Split Fiction, and you can see we're doing like tiny amounts of damage. I think we played it when the game came out, I think, so I don't actually know why these are so low, but because this has an F in it, it got times by 0.5, because this has an F in it, it got times by 0.5. So we just slowly, we're playing Split Fiction, and then I played more Wallace and Gromit DLC. I think this is actually the PS4 stack now, you know, I'm just that kind of person. Then we played more Split Fiction. What's this one for? Okay, yeah, so this is for finding like a secret in one of the levels, and then when you find that, you get that. So then that's why this one is more there, because obviously it's a hugely popular game and people were just playing the actual story. Then we went back to Power Simulator. I promise, I know if you're watching this video you're thinking, like, why is this challenge so fun when all you're doing is playing Power Simulator? Eventually we do run out of Power Simulator, and the bosses get a lot harder and get like different gimmicks. So now we have Dr. Neocortex from Crash Bandicoot. So you get a ×3 multiplier if it's a platformer. I would like to just ask, is Split Fiction a platformer? Yes or no? The answer is obviously yes, but it doesn't count for any of these. Unless maybe does it get tagged after? Join the action adventure? Like, it's clearly a platformer. Am I crazy for that? Sometimes you're actually not platforming. You know, maybe that's what we're talking about. Yeah, so if you play a platformer, you get ×3 damage. If the value ends in a 0 or 1, it doesn't do any damage. So again, this is one you don't need to be like looking, you know, and be like, well, I'm not going to play this game because it's got a 1 at the end. But it does mean that just sometimes you will get no points, which actually didn't happen to me. So again, I think this is the last with Delphi and the Wallace and Gromit DLC, so you'll be happy to know that's finished. Then I played more of the Ask to the Bot. These are like the speedrun levels, so they actually had a high damage. Is that high? I think actually what it was, the difference between these two is because I played this one the day it came out. So if you think about the amount of people that own the game versus the amount of people who had done that at that point, it was obviously very high to low, whereas this one had been out for a week, so more people had played it, so the ratio came down. So then that's why these are so different. And these both, because it's a platformer, I got times by 3. Then I played Wonder Stop and it was like a bunch of like chip damage, you know. Then did I get the Platinum? Oh yeah, so then the Platinum did 174 attack. For some reason it counts, you'll see this is relevant later on. When you get the final trophy before the Platinum, it counts it as you getting the Platinum first, and then the final trophy. So you can see here, I got Inward, which was my last one, and then I got the Platinum, but on this, it's marked differently. And this, I don't know why they do this, but it is actually, you know, there were people in the forum complaining for something that's about to come up, so. Then went back to Split Fiction again. Don't actually know why they're so low. This is what I mean about, I don't actually understand how exactly the attack works. I was just like playing the game to, you know, like I wasn't like researching it. But then some of the harder trophies, and actually this isn't even hard, this is just like the collectible, to find all the benches. This did a lot of damage. You can see 1.5k, that did almost like 250 on its own. Same with this one, which is just for going in a box and shooting it. Did a lot of damage. So we beat Neocortex. Then we had Majima. And this is when I kind of locked in, because actually, so you can see here that we finished Split Fiction, got the Platinum. We basically, just with these two, we halved these damage. And then I was playing, you can see all the next few games I played were all multiplying down, because the thing he's good against is games that were published by Bandai Namco, Square Enix, Capcom, Sega, Koei Tecmo, Konami, Arc System Works, Sony Interactive, Atlas Film Software. So if you look at that list and you name a publisher, like if you were to ask someone to name a publisher, they're on that list. So the only games you could play, I wonder, will it let me see the opposite? No, so yeah, this is show me games that I can't play. So you can't play Last of Us, can't play Persona, can't play Monster Hunter. You know, you could play like a good one for this. If you played a Ubisoft game, Ubisoft Open World, then you know you're gonna get your ×4s. Yeah, so for the last 4, they were all dying very quickly just by playing the games, and then this is when I realised that I was actually enjoying this and I should focus on it. So this is when it gets good. So played the new DLC that week because it's published by Sony. It got multiplied down. Then I played Monster Hunter World, and these are all at the start of the game. So this was doing 1 attack. Actually, I think this did 4 attack, which got multiplied down. These were both doing like, less than 4. So they both did 0 damage. And then I looked through what is an open world game that I have on my backlog, and very controversial, I would say, because I would actually not say it's open world. I do get that you can go different places, but it is still very contained. But Batman Arkham Asylum is open world on the website, and what I had left, I'll get up in PS1 profiles. So basically, I played it when it came out in 2010, and I so I didn't actually finish the game. But I did I did most of it. And then when it came out on PS4, I beat the game on, 2019. Actually, it was after it came out. It came out 2016. Yeah. So 2019, played through the whole game on hard. Yeah, so I beat the game on hard, but then it was when I was doing the Riddler challenges and the collectibles, I was like, oh, I just cannot be bothered. I forgot how annoying this is going to be. And then obviously I went back to it in the 12 Days of Christmas challenge to catch a Batarang, because that's a shop trophy for some reason. I think it was the exclamation mark I was looking for. Yeah, so I went back to it and I did a lot more, and I'm actually almost at the platinum now. I just need to do the combat challenges, but basically I finished the thing I was doing, so I'll go back to this at some point. But yeah, so any open world game gives you ×4 attack. So basically all of those you saw here, they all were giving me ×4. So free flow combo, don't even know that. I think that's like jump over the Titan. Then I did challenges, get over the Riddler things, glide for a certain amount of distance, more Riddler challenges, 100% the game. This is like do every combo move, do every move in a combo, and then I got more challenges. And I think, is there more? Yeah, so then that was like up to what we had to get. And I think also at this point I was like calculating how many trophies, how many points I would need to kill them, because obviously, let's say if you're at your 5 attack away from killing them, if you get a platinum and you get like 1,000 points, there's no overkill in this like challenge, so the majority of those points are going to be wasted. So I was like purposely, I wish you could actually see how much damage he had, but I was like, okay, this is the one I should be doing compared to like the other. I chose to do combat challenges instead of predator challenges because I knew it would do like just enough damage. So we beat Majima, and do you know actually what was annoying here? This was just when Pirate Yakuza came out, and like I could defeat Majima at his own game, but Sega is on the list of like bad games. What I could have done though, because I believe, I think Pirate Yakuza would count as open world, even though it's kind of similar to what I'm saying about Arkham Asylum, but it's just like, it's the vibe of the game. I could have played it and got a ×4 attack, and then because it's published by Sega, it would go down to 0.25, which would balance out, so I wouldn't be getting like loads of points, but it would still count. So I could have done that, but I didn't. Now we had Lilith from Diablo, and this one's kind of interesting. She has 2,500 health. If you get a trophy that has anything to do with playing on a certain difficulty, so finish the game in normal mode, finish the game on hard, on easy, even like finish the game on easy also counts. It gives you a base stat of +200, which does mean you could do like play a game on easy, and even though that's not going to get you any points, the +200 will. But this one is kind of weird. It does less damage if the trophy is very hard. So, for example, Mein Leben would give you the base points +200, but because it is above a 6, which I think is actually a 5, but you understand what I'm saying, like, then it would go back down. Yeah, so all of these would have got me the base points +200, then it would have divided it by 2/3. Or 1/3? Yeah, divided by a third, yeah. So yeah, like, so Mein Leben, what is above a 6? So it would give you 85 points, +200, then back down. So this one is interesting because it's like, you want to do hard trophies that aren't actually that hard. So what I ended up doing, I went back to TMNT Shredder's Revenge, because I played this with people. Let's go TMNT, yeah. Yeah, so I played this last year with people and we beat the game in like one sitting. And then I just left all the platinum stuff like for after. So we had to beat the game on a hard difficulty, and that would give us points. And then I was like, I'm just going to stick with this because I'm near the platinum. So can we just like keep going? So I'm not sure. Yeah, so I don't know exactly, but this is the difficulty one. It gave me more points. Then no, actually, so I lied. These are after. You know, TMNT is like part of the challenge. Yeah, so all I did now was beat the game on the hardest difficulty, beat it in multiplayer, which I did kind of cheat. You know, I'll maybe put the video up if I can find it. But what you can do, you can actually just load up the save. You can go online, search for the game, and join at the end of the game on the hardest difficulty. And I think we're playing with like 6 people, and you know, we just beat it. Is that cheating? Just to say. Then again, this one I would actually say I definitely cheated in this one. You have to defeat the final boss without getting hit. What you can do, again, this one's kind of complicated, but I had another PS5 set up, and I started the game, invited them, then I played the whole boss as the second character, and then I joined back at the end on my main save, because oh yeah, that's what it was. So it's the same kind of situation where if you join at the end of the boss fight, then if you don't get hit in those last like 10 seconds, it still counts. But because I was the only one that had the finished save, I would have to play the whole game again on a separate account. But yeah, what you can do is, if you invite someone else and then like close your game, it's as if you've like crashed, then they can keep playing on their own, and then you can go in multiplayer and join them back. So is that cheating? Who's to say? So yeah. Then I went back to Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, and this was like a great way to get points, because each of the... Don't actually know what the difficulty tag means, because I don't actually think these are tagged. I don't think it says do it on hard. Yeah. Achieve gold medal on each of these challenge maps. So I don't actually know if that is a difficulty to Delphi, because I think it's one of those ones that's like kind of weird, because you can play these on any difficulty, but I think if you play on hard, you get like a multiplier, and it's technically, it might actually be impossible to get a gold on not the hardest difficulty. So these are kind of like, you know, are these difficulty specific? But either way, I did all of these. I actually had put these off for ages, because you can see that I played the whole game. You know, I started it in 2018, but then I finished it. I played the whole game during COVID, and I just left these hard things for last, because I think the one I did first. Yeah, actually, it was it. I can't remember. Basically, one of them was like so hard, and I was like, if this one's hard, I think what I'd done as well, I sorted it by Fidelity, and I was like, you know, I was stuck on the foyer, and I was like, wait, this is the easiest one. It's obviously just because people do them in order, but they actually were not that bad. Some of them I did have to watch a video on first to like, because there's things where it's basically about you have to kill as many enemies as you can and keep a combo, and it's just so easy to lose a combo. And the way that the spawns work is like you have to walk into a door and then come back out, and this will like spawn more enemies. So there are some kind of like, not cheats, but just the levels work like so specifically that some of them I did have to like use a guide on. But yeah, as you can see, I just got the decimal points doing this. So all of these were only given 15 points, I think. I'll close it now. Yeah, these weren't actually given many points, but because of the difficulty tag, they were adding 200 to each one. So this like 15 add 200, or 14 add 200 to 14, 15 add 200 to 15. And then so they were all like this. And then this is the final one and the platinum, which was enough to take down Lilith. Then we had Jimbo from Backlog, who I was very happy to see. 3,000 health. And then this one, I think this is the most like fun, because it was the weirdest one to plan. So what he does is you get double damage for your every 5th Delphi, and you get half damage if it's a shop Delphi, so you're like buying things in a shop, or if it has Jack, Queen, King, and Ace in the name. So this one I basically didn't care about. I don't think I never hit it. But so what this means is you want to get 4 low-level Delphis and then a 5th big one. So you want to build up to the platinum. So what I did, I went back to TMNT, and that's actually the other one. I think I'm going to make like a standalone video about this game, so I'll talk about the actual stuff. But basically, it's you know what kind of game it is. You can see. What you have to do is get to max level with every character, and it just takes ages. You need to play the game over and over again. What I ended up doing was plugging in other controllers, because you get experience based on enemies you hit, I think. It's either enemies you hit or it's enemies you kill. But there are some bits where if you beat a boss, everyone will get 20 points. So what I ended up doing, I was basically playing the game with the person I was leveling up and had the other people in just to get that 20 at the end, because they would all get the 20, which means when I was playing as them, it would go quicker. Ended up did find a faster method, but this took ages. So basically, this is the confusing thing. So every 5th trophy gets double points, so you want the platinum to be 5th, but because of what I mentioned before about how it counts the platinum first, you actually want to get the platinum as your 6th, okay? Because it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the platinum, and then 6 is the thing that you got to get the platinum. And this is the thing on the forum, people were moaning about this, because obviously they had set it up as 1, 2, 3, get the trophy to get the platinum, 5 platinum. And then obviously they're like, why is this not working? But I had done this a little bit after this challenge came out, which meant I knew like what was going on. So yeah, I finished TMNT. Then I had to get like one easy trophy. So I went to the little to the left PS4 version, because I still had that. I think I had like, because I had done the daily challenges in it. So I had those trophies, but I hadn't played the actual game yet on PS4. So that was like an easy one to get. Then get the platinum for half damage. And then I mean, this is me getting the platinum. Then what I wanted to do is, I don't actually know what I was doing. I think I just wanted to get the platinum in little to the left. I think that's what I was doing. Or is it? Yeah, I don't know. But basically, I just kept playing little to the left. Wasn't caring about the double points. You know, like technically it would be better if I went to that one instead of that one, but you know, it's like it's a difference of 5 damage. So I was playing little to the left, getting a bunch of these double points. Then, don't know why, but yeah, then I started playing Tetris Forever. And again, just the same kind of way where I don't actually care what's going on. But then this is the little to the left platinum. Yeah, so I think that's what I just wanted to like get like a platinum with Eddie. So I played little to the left. Then when I got to the point where I wouldn't be able to like match the numbers up, I went to play Tetris Forever instead, because that's another game that had like I could just get easy, quick trophies in. Then I got the platinum in little to the left for 290 attack, which is obviously not a lot, but you know, everything counts. Then went back to Tetris Forever, and this one I specifically made sure I got this. I should have done this one actually. I don't know why I did this. Yeah, so Tetris Forever, finished it. Still don't actually have the platinum in this because there's one trophy at the end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So these are easy, I think. I've not actually attempted to get these, but it's this one. You need to play this like old school Tetris game and get 100 lines, and I just couldn't not do it. It takes, you know, it takes ages, and now obviously Tetris gets faster, so you get to like 90 and it gets so fast and then you lose, and it's like I've just wasted like half an hour, like because it takes so long to build up to that point. But it's a thing where I know I can do it. It's not like super hard, it just is, you know, you need to like lock in. So now we have the Ender, and I don't actually, is he Vampire Survivors? Okay, so the Ender from Vampire Survivors, and this one is weird. This one was like too easy, I think. So he's got 3,500 points, which is obviously, you know, we're stepping up by a lot each time. He will give you 5 times attack if the game has 30 trophies or more, but you get 0.75 attack if the game has less than 30. So what this means is you're basically always getting your normal amount, okay? Like, even 0.75 isn't that much. But what I think is weird about this is originally I read this the wrong way. I thought this was games with 30 or less do more damage and games with 30 or more do less damage, because I feel like it's more common that a game has 50, like 51. You got 56, 47, 56, 33 would still be over, 50, 51, 49, 50, 47, 38. Like, this is the first one that would actually count as minus points. Journey would also count as minus, Untitled Goose Game. But like the majority of games have more. And then obviously if they have more, then each individual trophy is going to get multiplied more. Even like Platin, which you think is a game that has like, you know, it's a small game, would still give you the times, was it 5 points? So this one basically just meant have a break from like playing specific things and just play any game. So we actually did get minus points on Tetris, but then I got 100,000 points in one hand, which times by 5 in Platin. Then I just played Pirate Yakuza. And that's the thing too, like these were given 1 attack, because these are like, I think this is the very first, oh no actually, is it? Isn't it weird that Yakuza hasn't appeared yet? But the first, is that like the first trophy I got is to obtain 20 clothing items? Obtain 20. Oh, okay, yeah. I think maybe they're not appearing because they did so little damage. Is that it? If we go back to Jimbo. Yeah, it's weird. There's like a few that are missing, but they're not even showing up as like. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But so I played Pit the Yakuza, just doing like tiny amounts of damage that were getting times by 5. Then I got every voucher in Blatido, which did got me a lot of damage. Went back to Pit the Yakuza. As you can see, as I got further in the game, I was now doing slightly more damage because, you know, the trophies were getting more there, but still not doing much. I do think, because I guess it's quite an easy game, and the only people who are playing it are people who want to play it. So, you know, everyone who buys a game is finishing it. So just a lot of small damage. The Platinum gave me 670 damage. Then WWE came out, and same deal. All of these were getting times 5. WWE was actually a lot better because I'd played it the month after it came out, and because it's a sports game, the you know, like, no one is doing these stupid things. People were just playing the main thing. So WWE got a lot of points. Then Sephiroth, his weakness is if the game has RE in the game name. So if you wanted to, this would actually be very easy. I think it would actually be, you know, okay. So his weakness is RE in the game name, but if you play an RPG, you get 0.4. Now, but I still think if you were to just play, if you haven't played Final Fantasy before, like the 2 new ones, every trophy would be getting plus 125 times by 0.4. So what's that? So each one would be giving you at least 50, and then 4,000 divided by 50 is 80. So if you just platinumed Final Fantasy with Rebirth or Remake, I'm pretty sure you'd kill him. The other one you obviously think of with RE in the game name is Resident Evil. I wouldn't think that, you know, I feel like the genres are always weird here. I feel like you could make an argument that it's an RPG, because there's like items and stuff like that. But, you know, if you played a Resident Evil game, this would be very easy. And the other one is if you played any older Assassin's Creed, would get you loads of points. Obviously, if you played Shadows, it's the same thing. I think you'd still be fine. If you played Shadows, I'm pretty sure Sephiroth is like very easy just for the base attack. But what I did was I just kept on playing WWE, getting these, like, you know, base points. Then actually, yeah, so this is actually, I forgot I did this. Oh, it adds it after? Yeah, okay, so I didn't even realize that if it adds after, then it means you're getting a 125 every time. Okay, so it's actually very easy, this guy. So I went back to play Fat Princess Adventures because I had, back in like 2016 I think it was, got every trophy in it, except for there's like a multiplayer one at the end, and it had to be online multiplayer, and I just couldn't be bothered getting anyone. But again, now that I have the other PS5 that I can connect to, this one was easy to just connect to myself, play both games at one time. So yeah, that each trophy was getting times by 0.4, it's an RPG, but then because it's got RE in the name, there you go, at the end, I can't highlight it, but you know, adventures, they were adding 125, so that was the trophy I needed and the platinum. Then Unravel, don't actually know what, I actually have no clue why I went back to this. I think this was like, it was an easy platinum, because I was also just one away, you know. Oh no, I remember actually, basically I wanted something special for Platinum 420, and I wanted it to be the one that killed this guy. So that meant I had to quickly get, basically I had to get up to, I don't know what I was at, I find out what I'm at, but I can't show the screen because it's going to have spoilers. So see, like, look to the left was 415, Hit the Yakuza 416, Fat Princess was 417, okay, Unravel 418. So I wanted something special for 420, but the thing is, the more, if I get like, let's say I went back to a game that had like 10 trophies left to get, those would all do a lot of damage, so I'd be getting closer to killing the boss, and there was a chance that I wouldn't be able to get to 420 in time. That was you know, that was the idea. So I basically had to go back to games that I only had a few trophies left to get the platinum. So this was beat every level without dying, which actually wasn't as bad as I thought. There was one level that was very annoying. It was so bad. Yeah, so that was the only trophy I had to get. Then I got the platinum. Then went back to Ben 10, which was also, I only had 3 left to get, and it was beating bosses. I think this was just like a combat one. But these were like beating bosses without getting hit. And the annoying thing about this is it's obviously not a very well made game. So you can just, you know, this isn't like a From Software don't get hit challenge. You know, you could just get hit from like anywhere. But you also had to beat the whole level before you fight the boss, which is obviously very annoying. Yeah, so this was Platinum 419. So I was thinking, what's a good Platinum for 420? And maybe it has RE in the name. So something I actually didn't talk about earlier. Any remastered game would be good here. And even when they have fun gimmick names like I know, I'll probably just cut this whole section. Okay, so I was thinking, what's a remake that you know, this bit's pointless. I played My Name is Mayo, the Mayo, and every single one of these trophies obviously was giving me 0 points because it's, you know, I'm sure the platinum's like super common. But every single trophy I was getting was giving me 125 points to finally defeat Sephiroth. Do you know what's annoying? I didn't actually I got the platinum after this. You know, obviously I didn't actually time it properly to get the platinum at the end, but you know, I got the platinum at some point. I wonder how many away I was. So it was what set in. Yeah, so this is where we killed Sephiroth 4 minutes in, and we still had another 20 minutes to go until we got the platinum. Yeah, so this one I had a lot of fun with, just because it was, the most important thing is you can't fail. At any point I could have went, oh, I don't want to do this, and play another game. And I wish I actually had the date. Oh yeah, actually, so when is this? It was April 17th that we beat this, and you can see the challenge finished on the 2nd of May. So I think this is fun as well. There's like a 2-month time limit on this, but it is very lenient. I mean, it depends how much you're playing games, but you know, I managed to do it with like 2 weeks left. Yeah, this just was like, play games and you'll do damage, but if you want to, there's like, you know, I went back to one of the Evo, got the platinum, went back to Ben 10, got the platinum. Like, this is like a fun backlog challenge because it generally was like, play what you want, but you know, if you want to play a game that's got RE in the name, then go for it, and you'll get like better points. There was also this community challenge, which was kind of, you know, like you don't have to do anything, but basically everyone was doing damage to, I don't know who was first. Yeah, I guess people were doing damage to Millennia, and then we did enough damage, and then people were doing damage to another Millennia, and then I think they decided not to do another one because like obviously we'd fail it. Yeah, but so this one was a lot of fun, and I would definitely do this again if they do it. The only thing is, the more times you do these challenges, the less backlog you have. You know, like, if you don't have many trophies to go back to, you're gonna have to buy new games for this, which, you know, is kind of against the point. Definitely a lot of fun with this one, and I'd definitely do it again. The next one, I guess we're near the end of the video because this one I didn't like that much, but I'm not sure what the best way to show this is. Basically, this is Hangman, and what it is, you get, these are blank at the start, obviously. And then when you get a trophy, so I got a P, and there was not a P, so obviously we'd do a little head, I guess. How many did I get there? I don't know, so people do Hangman different ways. I usually start with the head. You know, the hangman has been built, you're hanging the man. I guess they do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so one of these. I guess I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I'm guessing that this is created automatically. Unsure. Actually, you know what, I'd do this. I would go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But yeah, so basically, so got a P, wasn't one. There's a C that goes in. Obviously, you know how Hangman works. But what I did for this one is basically I would just play a game. So I was playing Thomas Mascot Agency, and then when I was like finished playing for the night, I would like log my game, and I would see if I could see it. So this one, I'll put this on screen because actually I think I took a screenshot to show. I got up to H, okay, and looking at it, I was like, I don't think I'd be able to get the name, but I did work out with just the R and the S here. I was like, what could this be? And it's like, I feel like it is Resident Evil. You just know that for sure. So then when you know that's Resident Evil, then you can go, okay, Claire. Actually, I guess it, yeah. So then it's like Claire Redfield. You know, you just know what it is. So then I kept playing Thomas Mascot Agency because I knew that there were trophies in that would link up with this. And it was only when I got to the end, I started playing specific games. So I wanted to play Cadet Custodian anyway. So, and I knew that I had a V. I guess this is what I'll talk about. There's like hardly any Vs in the game. Like there's hardly any Vs you can get. This is actually the very first trophy you can get in the game. You can see it's a 1. So this was easy. Then Monster Hunter World, I had to establish 5 camps. Then I had to go back to Goose Game and get an easy one. Skyrim, discover 100 locations. So I just loaded up Skyrim and just started walking about. And then I was playing Golf Club Wasteland. Golf Club Nostalgia. I think it's like 2 names. Which is like a golfing game, and these are just like in level 10. Put the golf ball here, and you get a trophy that starts with an L. So then we finished Clear Deadfield. And I wasn't sure how many of these I was going to do. Because for the badge, like to say that you've completed this, I think you only have to do 1. So I was like, technically I'd finished it at this point. But then we got our second one. And I can't remember if I managed to, yeah, I think I actually managed to guess this based on nothing. I know like that's hard to believe, but I was like, what game has 6 letters? You know, like if the full title of a game, obviously I know like they were just those 5 Skyrim, but I was like, Skyrim is like the only one. And I was like, okay, what's a character from Skyrim? And also it only has 1 name, Dragonborn. I think I knew this. I actually can tell. Or I think I might have just kept playing Golf Club Wasteland for a little bit, and then I got O, G, A, and M. So I got like O. So I knew it was G, O. I knew it was A, G, O, and I knew the M was here. And I guess maybe I don't know when I guessed this, but either way. So then once I knew, or maybe I didn't know. I don't know. But then I went back to the Custodian, played more of that. Then I went back to Thomas Mascot Agency, I played more of that, and it was only, then it was here. I was like, okay, if I play Pixel Junk Shooter, and I play through like the first section, that gives me enough to, you know, that's what I need. And then I finished it off with Sound Shapes. So again, the thing here is that Y is hard. So I used up Pixel Junk Shooter for my Y. And my point is that now that I've used a V and a Y that were easy to get, the next easiest V and Y are harder to get. You know, like if that makes sense. So this one actually definitely for sure managed to get it on nothing. And I know, again, it might sound, you know, like bonkers, but what is a game name that's got a dash in it? I was like, oh, there's not many. And I was thinking this could be a number, you know, like if this is -2 or 1 or 6, but like it wouldn't be 6. I was like, okay, saying that's a number. But then I was looking at this, I was like, what game is like owned by someone? You know, like someone's name at the start. And then I basically just, based on having a dash at the end and being owned by someone, I was like, okay, this is Marvel's Spider-Man. Then I was like, okay, Peter, P-A-R-K-E-R. Okay, so there's a bonus one. And I was like, okay, so it can only be, I guess it could have been a, you know, it's like, so it can be Mary Jane, you know, so it has to be Mouse. So again, what I did, I just played through Custodian, because I was basically going half and half between, you know, I'm going to like focus on this and do it, and I'm just going to like have fun. So I was basically getting up to the point, I was playing the game up to the point until, oh yeah, actually I forgot to mention, yeah, you only get 8 letters to do this in. So I was basically getting up to the point, I was keeping track of each trophy I was getting to see when I would be close to dying. And also I knew I needed another V, which wasn't Custodian. But again, now my closest V is gone, if that makes sense. And then now I only had a few left. So I went back to Pixel Junk Shooter, went back to Golf Club Wasteland. I think I accidentally got this one, which is annoying because it's a W, which obviously would be useful because there aren't that many Ws. Went back to Untitled Goose Game, went back to Sound Shapes. Then I went back to, I looked up Street Fighter X Tekken on the Vita, just because it had an eye that was easy. And I think this is the point where I was looking at them, I think I was looking at the eyes, and they were just annoying, you know, like, to get them. So I was like, the easiest one would be if I got my Vita out and downloaded this game that I'm definitely not going to play. I should also mention, all of these games were on my backlog before. So like, I got this on my Vita in like 2014, and it's just been sitting there, obviously. Then I needed N, so I went to this War of Mine, because this was like, have alcohol. So all you had to do was, on like the first night, you go out, find alcohol, then you just sleep, and they'll drink it, and then you get the trophy. Then the next one, this one, I'm going to be honest, I did not get, it actually took me ages to work out. Yeah, I think what I did, I just wanted to, I was playing games to try and work it out, And what I ended up doing, I think I ended here. So I had T, F, and L. So we'll use the power of editing to show you what that would be like, because I can't do that in my head. But, you know, I had the L, and I had the T, and I had the T. So then I managed to work out that this was split fiction based on that. And then I was like, I would love, you know, people who have like platinumed the game, like people who have like genuinely played the game, tell me the surname of the people in split fiction. Like, I was like, Zoe Foster, is that right? Like, what's Mio's name? Like, there's no way that I'd be able to get this. But I knew it was split fiction, and then I knew it was Zoe or Mio, I think. No, actually, I think I googled it. That was like, because I had the F. So I was like, what are they called? And then I knew it was Foster, so I knew it was Zoe. And then I could go back. Judgment, I got a Z, which is obviously one of the, you'd assume one of the hardest ones. Then Untitled Goose Game, C, P, and E. 5-Star Wrestling The Genesis, which is like a really bad knockoff wrestling game. Made by like a knockoff company, like the actual wrestling company had like a bunch of like scandals and stuff like that. I got I and S in there. Then I went back to This War of Mine. This was where we were smoking cigarettes. So it was the same as alcohol one, just get cigarettes, keep sleeping, and then eventually they'll smoke and you get this note. Then another one in Tekken, just because I had the game sitting there, you know. And opened up Journey for the first time after taking a week-long break, which was probably closer to like 10 years, for R, and that was for Zoe Foster Split Fiction. Then again, this one didn't get, I thought it was high on life. You know, I was thinking, what, like, because again, this must be quite unique. What games is like 4-2-4? Like something of something, but 4 on each side. So I thought it was high on life, and I was like, is there even a guy in that? Yeah, so then I think what it was, I noticed that in Rocket League I had the Platinum, but I didn't have any of they've added like so much DLC, and these are super easy, you know, get the Dominus and do a 180 power slide, play a game with this car, equip the car with a decal, then win a game, smash into 3 cars. These are all like super, they take like, you know, like a minute each. So I was like, okay, if I can just start off with like a collection of letters, then we're sorted. So I think it was easy, like, you know, if you get the L, then you've got double L, it's like, what game starts with, you know? And I also had the D and the F. So I think it was easy to find out this is Call of Duty. And at that point, I think I had the A. Yeah, I had the A and the L. And I was like, okay, like, name. It was like, are there like famous characters in Call of Duty? It was like Soap McTack, no, he doesn't fit. Like Vesnov, he doesn't fit. So I was like, oh, it's obviously Alex Mason. So then we had to get an X, which was one of the hardest ones. We also had to get a Y, which, like I mentioned before, is hard. So finished off with Rocket League, went back to This War of Mine. This was for listening to the radio for like 5 days. Tekken, 5-Star Wrestling, Stories, The Path of Destiny, which is like I need to actually platinum this. I've been like slowly doing it, but it's like a kind of top-down combat game. You know, you got like spells and stuff like that. But it's like at the end of each section, you can choose like 3 options, and that will split the story. And to get the platinum, you need to play the game like 36 times because you have to see every option, and it takes like maybe 45 minutes each time, maybe half an hour. So it takes like 18 hours to play through the whole game, and it's not that good. So this, you know, but it did give us our U. Then I played No Straightaway Roads, which is like actually a game that's quite underrated. I think it came out in 2020. And it's like a music rhythm. It's actually it's very similar to Hi-Fi Rush, and it's quite sad. Obviously, I know Hi-Fi Rush ended up, you know, the team got like dismantled, but you know, obviously they came back. But the games are very similar, and this one just no one cared about. And obviously Hi-Fi Rush was like Game of the Year level. But yeah, so this one I had a hard platinum because you basically had to beat the game on very hard. But I noticed, so I went back to do this because it's like a collectible thing, and it turned out I had actually already got the collectibles. I just had to turn them in. So this took like minutes. But I was actually looking to play the game and get the platinum because they've added like an easy mode. So I might go back to this and just mop up the platinum. Don't know why I got B and Q here. I don't know why I failed. That was weird. Like, why did I do this? I guess I failed on these ones because it wasn't like I was going towards anything. But what there's an interesting thing where when you have 2 lives left, you can click a button and it will skip any hard letters. So I don't know exactly what counts, but like X, Y, W, V, like stuff like that. So I ended up skipping X because what's the best way to show this? Yeah, so that's what I'll go back to this, but this was the last one. You know, I played more and I realised that you know, I skipped and I was like, I just can't be bothered. I can't remember what letter I needed, but you know, so I just can't be bothered. Then here again, I wasn't doing these at this point, but I did keep checking in just to see could I easily, you know, am I missing like an F? And I can just go in and quickly get an F. So for these last three, yeah, it was Jill Valentine, Resident Evil, Kazuma Kiryu, Yakuza series, and John Marston, Red Dead Redemption. I didn't even do this one at all. Like I started it and then stopped. What I do think, Yakuza series is a weird title of a game, especially when you have like, you know, should this not be like series because he's in both? Should this not be series because she's in more than one? Yeah, so skipping letters makes this much more doable because I had to get an X, okay? And I'm going to show you what trophies I could have used for this. Okay, so these are the X's that I could have got on games that I already have in my account. I could have played XCOM Enemy Unknown on the PlayStation 3. I think these are easy, they would just take a while. That's DLC that I don't have, that didn't actually show up last time. Actually, they're, yeah, okay. Then I could have played, I'll censor this, but like spoilers for Witcher 3. I could have played through like half of Witcher 3, and I could have played Star Wars Battlefield and done something. And I was looking at these, I was like, I've got 5 options. Definitely not doing this. Didn't have this DLC, so it was a difference between The Witcher 3, which also I should point out, you can see that I had already guessed all of these letters, okay? I would have to get to that point in The Witcher 3 without getting any more letters that I haven't already guessed, you know? Because then I would fail. And I was like, I don't care. And so if I go like, you can see, this is the trophy I had to get, the story one. And so I'd have to play through, I would have to get an A, N, F, and S. Which I don't know if I already had, but my point is, I just couldn't be bothered at this point. You know, I was like, I was done. You only have to do 1 for the challenge, so I had done 4. And I was like, okay, I'll just skip this, and then that's me done. I've done 5. So that was the final challenge. This one actually I wasn't fussed with. I do think you definitely shouldn't keep going. You know, like I don't know, I don't really like make fun of him, but you know, if you were here, someone did 42 hangmen. I'm here, like most of us did like 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 42, 33, 23. It's like fair enough, but I don't know, it depends what, see if you're... I mean, they're not shovelware, which you have to respect. You know, it does seem these are like actual games, but there's like a lot, you know, it's like, I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah, so next up we have the bath challenge, which I actually recorded earlier, so I'm now going to cut about an hour in the past, because I wanted to find out what, basically I wanted to like set this up as quickly as possible. So now you're going to go back to the past, and the video is going to end. So now until June 14th until July 14th, so you've got a whole month for this one. I don't know why the dates are always, you know, like 1st of November, 1st of December, 1st of December, 1st of January, 3rd to the 3rd, 3rd to the 2nd, 9th to the 9th, now we're 14th to the 14th. I don't know why they're all, you know, like offset like that. But for the next month we have the bath challenge, which is the Bonkers Arbitrary Trophy Hunt 2025. So what this is, there's not like a theme or anything. They're just going to pick 30 trophies on my list that I don't have, and then you have to get 15 to complete the challenge. So what you can actually do, I'm scared to click the button because I don't actually know what I'm doing yet. But what you can do, you can go into your game collection and mark, I think so you can mark games to not be used for contests like this. So what I've done is I've went through and I've unmarked specific games that I just don't want to play. So for example, I just started Persona 4 again on the Vita, so I've marked Persona 5. You know, like I'm playing a Persona, don't make me play another one. Same with in February I started playing Monster Hunter World, and then obviously I started playing Wilds. So I don't want it to tell me to play both. Like I just want to play Wilds at this point. And I've also went through, there's some games that I don't own anymore. So for example, Silent Hill 2 from last year, I played that and don't have it anymore. So if it tells me to get a trophy in that, then obviously I need to buy the game again, which I don't want to do. So let's find out what 30 trophies we have to get. I do think it's meant to give you a good range of like quickly jump in, get this one, and some hard ones. I don't know how long this is meant to take, because like, you know, if it gives me like a post-game Days Gone one, that's like 60 hours. I don't like, does it go that far? I don't know, but let's find out. Register now. Oh wow, there's like a lot of like paperwork. Okay. See, this is the thing. I don't want it to select PlayStation Plus games, because if you look at your collection on the website, it includes every game that you could play with like PlayStation Plus or EA Play if you have that. So you can see I've got 57 pages of games. But when you actually click in, you can see that these are all just PlayStation Plus games that, you know, I technically could play. But what I'm hoping is, you can see here, this minus sign on all these games to set them not for the contest. And I've got that on, like, if you go to like page 30, I hopefully have this on all of these games. Because I don't want to tell me to go play, like, Bee Simulator. And I'm like, no, the point is, it's meant to be like a backlog thing, you know? Like, I want to be told to play a game that I've already played. So I'm hoping if I go, I think it was page... Yeah, so you can see here, this is where my games end, and the PlayStation Plus games start, and they're marked off. So hopefully this counts. Trophies count as valid if they're not currently unlocked, not from DLC, okay? Between 1.1 and 5, so they actually wouldn't be super easy. You know, like, the gap between 1 and 1.1 is so small, but it wouldn't be that. But also, I do think at 5, if I check, like, main Leben, I think that's higher. So I think the Platinum is like an 8. Oh, it actually might... Yeah, main Leben is a 6.69, so it might get us to do like one of the other difficulties. That's what I'm kind of like. There are, obviously because of like I'm making videos, there are some games that I don't want to do in certain ways, like especially because now I'm kind of busy with like games I'm playing. So if it tells me to play like Dead 2, I'm like, I don't think you know, I'm not going to do that. Not Flag is time consuming, so that is good that you can do all of these in a month. And also what I'm going to do, just for the sake of recording videos, I'm making it only PS4, PS5, just so I can, you know, like, I could do the PlayStation 3, but I just can't be bothered unplugging it, plugging it in. If I do it on the PS4, PS5, I can do them all on, like, the one console. Like, we'll just go with it. We only need to get 15, so even if it gives us 15 ones that we don't want to do, then, you know, we're fine. So, I feel like I'm happy. Register now. Are you ready to build your target to the list from these options? You will not be able to change it. Yes. Okay, so we have them all. Right. Okay. So, yeah, they're sorted by difficulty. You know what's funny? They don't give you the description, so I can't actually... I don't know if these are hard. So we've got a story trophy in Days Gone. Story in Battlefield. Some kind of like world map thing in Mad Max. I don't know if I'm going to do this. There's some... I thought I had to... What was this? Tome DLC, was it? It must have been free, because otherwise... It was, yeah, okay, yeah, free DLC for Tome that I didn't even know existed. And Tome 2 is coming out... Well, like, I don't know, it just got announced. So that's actually, you know, this is what I like about this. Like, I would be happy to go back and do this. Then we've got Everybody's Golf, Dark Souls 2, Gravity Rush 2, Ashen, Last Was Remastered. Is that a multiplayer one? Do you know what I'm not... Obviously, it's like, you know, like, this is the point of the challenge. But what I was hoping to get is games that I wanted to go back to. So, like, Ashen, I want to play. Tome, I'm happy with that. Mirror's Edge, kind of. Broken Age, kind of. Night in the Woods, kind of. Titan Souls. But, like, do I want to go back and play Godfall to perform a Polarity Shockwave 100 times? WWE 2K19. Playing online modes for 5 hours, see, stuff like that, it's like, is this worth doing it? Don't even know what that means. And then what is this? Must be hard. That there are 18 lanes or more in a single zone visit. So basically, okay, so what this actually is, just build up a big tower and then use zone and get lucky, I guess. Well, that does seem... How's this easy? But how many do you have to get? 18? You have to do like the whole board? Yeah, I don't think I'm getting that one. But, I mean, I guess I'll check in. Honestly, I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know what I've said about some of them I like because they get you to go back and play games you want to play. Some of them I don't like because they just make you go get a random trophy. I'm like, look at, like, I thought Oddworld Soulstorm was so bad. I think I only have, like, one trophy in it. Yeah. It was on, it was like, when the PS5 first came out, it's like, oh, it's on PlayStation Plus, it's a PS5 game. I had to finish one level. I don't know if I'll do these, especially the kind of, what's it like, you know, going back to Kingdom Hearts. But that one seems easy. Like, I've got like a finished save in Kingdom Hearts. There was also a Kingdom Hearts 2 one, wasn't there? No, just one. I've also got Overwatch. Like 50 unlocks for a single hero, I don't even know what that is like. Tropical 5. I do think some of these, you could probably do quite quick. I'm kind of excited about Gravity Rush 2 being there, because, you know, like, that is a game that I do want to play. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I do these. Alien Isolation, that could actually be worth it. And again, for to like do the challenge, you only need 15. I do like to complete them all because I don't actually know what you get. Like it always says you get like a badge, but I don't even know what that means. Is it this? Yeah, okay, so if you click here, you can see that does that mean I've finished them? Okay, so I think this shouldn't be too bad to get 15. I don't know, again, that's the thing, I don't know if I'll make a standalone video on this because it will just be, I played Days Gone and I did the story, I played Battlefield 4 and I did the story, I played Mad Max. You know, like, there's no kind of point of the video to be honest. Is there 2 for, I find it hard to like remember what's on here. I thought there were Night in the Woods twice. Do I have any game twice? Or is it 30 different games? I think it might be 30 different games. Just Cause 3 is like a... Wait, is this... I thought I got the Platin on that. Is that DLC? 16 out of 67 DLCs. I thought did I finish it? I didn't even finish the game. Okay, so... We'll see if I do this. I probably will get 15 because I'm seeing like, you know, Ashen seems short, Tropical 5 seems you can do that in a tutorial. This is just for playing on these maps. Right? So, you know, I can do that in like an hour. Then, what was this one? I'm sure you can use that, you can do a guide, you know, like go here, then hit this. I would actually like to play Tome, kind of into this in Mirror's Edge. 5 hours in online, you know, that is, you can't fail that. WWE, this one, I mean, this is probably the easiest one, I don't know why I don't have this. And because it's a sports game, it's like, it seems harder than it is. Let's like get every collectible in Bioshock Infinite, you know, I'm not sure about that one. Beat Titan Souls. Actually, I'm kind of into this, and I do think the game is easy, isn't it? Like, just to beat the game is doable. It's the actual platinum. And in this, like, are the servers even still up? We're finding matches very easily. Okay, right, so it does seem like I can get 15 of these. And I get, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might check in. I might just leave it until the next one that is actually worth talking about. But thanks for watching. Let me know, like, if you enjoy these kind of videos. I know they're a bit more like talky instead of doey, but I do think, you know, I just like this boss rush one so much. I think this is like the perfect kind of, you know what it is? It's because you can't fail. All the other ones, the Hangman, or you've done too much, the Alphabet Bingo, or you should have got a V, an easy V first. And this one too, it's like, I can play other games, you know, like, I'm going to play Clear Obscure today, and it won't interfere with my progress in this. Like, it's the difference between you have to do this thing now, or you can do this thing at any point, and I do prefer the ones where you can do the thing. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you maybe in a month for me to tell you about this. If not, I'll see you the next Into Distant event. But yeah, have a good one.